If you think about what makes it so difficult to improve your organization, whether you are a senior manager of a large organization or whether you're a business owner and you're running a small organization, what is it really that makes it so difficult to improve your organization? There's a great acronym that sort of captures the main reasons why it's so difficult to improve an organization. The acronym is VUCCA. It originally came from the defense industries where they were looking at warfare. What makes it very difficult? What's going to make a specific battle very difficult? The acronym VUCCA is VUCCA. I've added another C to capture an additional factor. The first part, the V part, is for volatility. If you think about a typical organization, there's always volatility in demand and supply. And that makes it really tricky when it comes to making decisions about how many resources do I need, where to best allocate those resources. If demand was constant, there were no variability or volatility. If supply was constant, it would be a really easy job to decide what's the demand, how many resources do I need to supply that demand. So that's the first factor, is the volatility part. The second part, which is the U, is for uncertainty. This is the fact that we are dealing with complex systems means that we will never really know fundamentally what the cause of something is. There's always more than one cause, and these causes could have multiple impacts on it. And that makes it difficult to decide where to focus my limited attention. It's what's really caused a certain effect. The other part that's uncertain is we will never really know or be able to accurately predict what the outcome of a change on the system is. So both there's uncertainty about the cause of something and about the effect of something. The third part of the acronym is the first C, which is to do with complexity. And that typically means that things are related. Small things can make a big impact, and a big change can have a very small impact. There's interdependency between the parts of the system. If you think, for example, about having to make a forecast of how much of a specific product I will sell, it's very dependent on what the price is of that product, but also what's the price of the competitor's product at that time. It's very dependent on how much of the old model is still available at the time that we are releasing the new model. And that's an additional factor that makes managing organizations really difficult, is the idea of complexity, or the fact that the parts are interdependent. The second C is for constraints, in that we will always have constraints or limitations in terms of achieving our objectives. We'll have constraints in terms of the number of resources that we have available, the amount of time that we've got available, the capability of those resources. And also there would be certain constraints about what we can and cannot do, certain compliance that we have to achieve. And then the last element is the A, which is ambiguity. Ambiguity means that I don't just have one thing that I'm trying to achieve. I have multiple things that I'm trying to achieve. I have to be effective, I have to be efficient, and I have to be compliant. Which one do you want me to focus on? The fact that there's ambiguity and that it's not clear to me what exactly is the single objective to achieve, because I'm trying to achieve multiple objectives. Those are all the things that make it very difficult to manage organizations. So when you're thinking about developing some kind of process to be able to manage better organizations, being able to develop processes or utilize processes that are not dependent on the VUCCA becomes really critical. Something that will allow you to manage and improve organizations despite their volatility, uncertainty, complexity, constraints, and ambiguity becomes really critical.